LeBron James has finally made up his mind. After 24 days of guessing, LeBron has finally pulled the trigger. Surely on Cleveland, right? You know, his hometown? No. Okay, what about South Beach? No. Alright, it's gotta be Golden State with Steph and Dre, right? No. Where is it? He chose Philadelphia. 2 days ago, Shams Charania posted, breaking, LeBron James is signing with the Philadelphia 76ers on a 2-year, $8 million deal with a player option. Philadelphia was in our faces all along, and yet we had no idea that LeBron would choose Philly. If you really look back at it like I have in the past 48 hours, there have been clues scattered everywhere that Philadelphia was going to be the choice all along, yet nobody suspected a thing. This move absolutely surprised me because, like I said, I had no idea, but when you look at it from a basketball logic perspective and where LeBron's priorities actually are, it's the most obvious choice on the board, and today I'm going to break down this entire LeBron situation. So without further ado, let's jump straight into it. For starters, why would LeBron choose Philadelphia out of all the teams on his plate? And in order for me to answer that question, we have to take a step back in the process. If you weren't aware, when LeBron James became a free agent on June 30th, 2026, there was a point in time around 2 or 3 weeks ago where LeBron was actually considered untouchable in relations to recruits and people trying to recruit LeBron. There was no room for meetings or anything like that, so one of the only ways to contact LeBron was to send a voice memo to Rich Paul himself, which he would then later convey that voice memo to LeBron James. In order for teams to recruit LeBron to their squad, and teams like Golden State, Cleveland, Miami, and even the Sixers sent out voice memos. And the one voice memo that stands out to me in specific is the Philadelphia 76ers one. It wasn't like your average voicemail. It was actually the owner of the Philadelphia 76ers, Bob Myers. If you didn't know, the same general manager for the Golden State Warriors who built the Kevin Durant squad, came on to Rich Paul's podcast, Game Over, and told him directly to his face why LeBron should join the Philadelphia 76ers. Bob Myers said, and I quote, "If he was here, I'd say, I'd honestly believe this would be your best chance to win. You have to decide all the other things that are equally important. What I would just say is, if it's about winning, let's talk about this team, because you can win here in Philadelphia." Now, you may be wondering, okay, why does this stand out? Let's now travel to when LeBron announced his decision on X. The thing that stands out to me the most in his entire spiel is his explanation for why he wants to play for the Philadelphia 76ers. He says, and I quote, "This is my last decision. I'm not going for money. I'm not going for family. What am I really playing for at this point? I still want to sacrifice. I still want to work. I still want to grind. I still want to compete to win and to have a chance at the feeling of winning another championship." So there you go. LeBron James wanted to join the squad with the highest chances of winning. Now, if we look at the teams like Cleveland, Miami, Golden State, and Philly, out of those 4 teams, the team that is in the best condition to win now, because this is a win now move for LeBron James, Philadelphia is the most obvious choice on that board. Philadelphia's squad currently consists of Tyrese Maxey, VJ Edgecombe, Jaylen Brown, Joel Embiid, and Dean Wade. Every team that LeBron has ever signed to has either been pre-built for him or he builds it as soon as he gets there. And looking at what's on the market and what was the best fit, the Philadelphia 76ers stood tall on that entire board. And when you compare the Philadelphia 76ers squad to every other squad on that board, it totally makes sense why Philadelphia was the best fit. Looking at Miami, Miami has an amazing front court of Giannis and Bam, but their backcourt is Davion Mitchell. It lacks a point guard. And what does Philadelphia have? An amazing backcourt. You have Tyrese Maxey, VJ Edgecombe, and Jaylen Brown. For Cleveland, they have a great roster, but what do they have? James Harden. A James Harden plus LeBron James combo would be one of the worst things in basketball history, especially that LeBron's priority is he wants to help make this team win. Signing to Cleveland would be one of the worst decisions for LeBron if you want to win a championship and you have the cursed James Harden on your roster. And for Golden State, you throw LeBron in there, they don't have a good shooting guard, and everybody on that roster is old. There's not a lot of young talent. And then you look back at the Philadelphia 76ers, you have for a shooting guard, you have Jaylen Brown. Man is top 15 player in the NBA, finals MVP. The man is experienced. And you look for a centerpiece. The Sixers have Joel Embiid, who is arguably a top 2 center in the NBA when he's healthy. So of course the man chose Philadelphia. But there's more. Not only does Philadelphia have the best chances to win right now and compete for a title with their current roster, they also expressed how badly they want him on their squad. And that's the one thing LeBron thrives for. Wants and needs. The man is the most attention-seeking player in the NBA, and that is completely undebatable. And Philly made sure they fed him for days with attention. To start off, Tyrese Maxey. The man has worked out with LeBron personally throughout the offseason for over half a decade. So Tyrese Maxey used that personal relationship to pursue LeBron and convince LeBron to join the Sixers. Not only that, but LeBron was offered dinner and had dinner with head coach Nick Nurse and the Philadelphia 76ers front office president of operations, Mike Gansey. If you don't know who Mike Gansey is, not only did Mike Gansey play on LeBron's high school's rival basketball team, but Mike Gansey was also in the front office who helped construct that 2016 Cavaliers championship team. So now not only do you have a head coach that wants him, a star point guard that wants him, a president of operations who wants him and has a great personal relationship with LeBron, but now you also have the owner reaching out and saying to your agent's face that, hey, we want you on this team. If you want to win now, what are you doing? Get over here. So to me, no wonder Philadelphia was the choice he made. So with that, another question arises, and that question is, why not the other teams? I mean, you have Cleveland, Miami, and Golden State. 2 out of those 3 teams you already played for. On top of that, you brought titles to both those places. So why would you not want to return home? And to be honest, those answers are more complex than you think. Let's break it down. To start off, let's start off with his home in Cleveland. Cleveland, the team that everybody thought LeBron would sign back to, ended up being a point of no return. And the reason for that is not because of the current roster situation, not just because of James Harden, not because of their financial situation, but it's because of the efforts that they couldn't pursue. And that is trying to trade for Kyrie Irving. There was a rumor that spread out online saying that LeBron was stalling his decision because they are waiting on the Cavs to try to trade for Kyrie Irving. And Rich Paul got Shams Charania to come out and say that those rumors are false. However, more ESPN insiders kept leaking that information that no, it's not false, it's absolutely true, and the pursuit for Kyrie is getting heavier and heavier. But unfortunately for the Cavaliers, they couldn't do it because the Mavericks immediately shut that down as they're trying to work with their timeline with Cooper Flag and Kyrie Irving. Based on that decision alone, LeBron felt no reason to go there, so therefore he did not stick with the Cavs. Now for Miami, you have Giannis and you have Bam Adebayo. Why would you not want to join that roster? For starters, that roster's a little bit incomplete. You're lacking a massive backcourt, and I think with the options on the market, there's not a lot of great backcourt options left. Besides trade deals, which Miami has already traded quite a lot to get Giannis, so it makes no sense for them to participate in even more trades. Most importantly, signing back with either Cleveland or Miami creates an immense pressure on LeBron to recreate a title run. And Rich Paul came out and said that that is very difficult for LeBron to process and would rather start on a new page. He already had that pressure when he returned to Cleveland to actually bring back a title after he won titles with Miami, and he did so, but I'm sure that wasn't a lovely time for him mentally. And now Golden State. Why would LeBron not want to sign with Golden State? It was never about the pressure of winning a championship, it was more about the current fit for LeBron. To start off, Draymond Green declined his $27 million player option to make more financial room for LeBron, but for LeBron, it was never about the money. It was about winning a championship. And with that roster, LeBron knew it was not enough to win a championship. As we saw last season, the lineup of Steph Curry, Brandon Pajemski, Jimmy Butler, Draymond Green, and Kristaps Porzingis did nothing besides land a 10th seed and lose half of their starting lineup to injuries. And with no serious moves in the offseason besides Kristaps Porzingis, which hasn't been such a big move for Golden State, it was obvious for LeBron that this was not going to be a great fit. But LeBron had one request. In order to sign with Golden State, there was rumors that LeBron set the standard, the only way I'm going to sign here is if you bring me Anthony Davis to play alongside myself. And of course, Golden State heard him, but they never executed. And the reason for that is because the Wizards knew how desperate Golden State was to sign a player like Anthony Davis to get LeBron. So they took advantage of that and they raised his price. The price for Anthony Davis was Jimmy Butler, multiple first-round picks, and swaps. And for the Warriors' current priorities, which isn't Steph Curry, it's actually the post-Steph Curry era, it made absolutely no sense for the front office to trade away all their picks and Jimmy Butler for LeBron if their priorities are not Steph Curry. So therefore, the Warriors never even took those talks really into consideration. So of course, LeBron didn't go there either. Now, why would LeBron choose Philadelphia? I already went over a major part of that, but here's more to it. So now, Philly feels like home for LeBron James. And it's not just about the attention, it's not about the current situation on the roster, there's even more to it. There's actual change within Philadelphia. Let's take a look at Joel Embiid. Joel Embiid is notorious for not playing games every season with constant injuries ever since his MVP season, but apparently things are changing. According to the general manager Mike Gansey, during a press conference, he announced that Joel Embiid has gained 15 pounds of muscle this offseason so far. He said, and I quote, "Joel has been putting in the work, up to 15 pounds of pure muscle. Now he's around 295 with 13% body fat. We're hoping it helps him stay healthy and dominate once again in the paint. He will take it up to another level." And we all know, just like Anthony Davis, when Joel Embiid is on the floor, he's a top 2 center in the NBA. He is completely unstoppable from all sorts of areas on the floor, offensively and defensively. So LeBron, hearing this information, I'm sure it really helped him narrow his decision down. And here's what I find that's most important. It's not just about the team, it's not about the money, it's not about the family, it's what LeBron wants to do with the team. LeBron took his emotions straight to X as we go back to this announcement, and LeBron said, and I quote, "I believe I can help make the Philadelphia 76ers a championship team, and I am so excited to energize a new fan base and start this incredible journey one last time. There it is right there. LeBron wants to lead this team. LeBron knows if he joins Golden State, he's not going to lead that team. It's Steph Curry that's going to lead that team. With Cleveland, you already have such a tight roster. LeBron is going to impact that team very much so, but he's not going to be the leading cause for a championship. And when you go to Miami, the same thing. You have Giannis on that squad. Giannis can get a championship by himself with absolutely nobody. LeBron knows if he joins Miami, he's going to dramatically increase their chances of winning a championship, but he knows he won't be the sole purpose on how they win that championship. It will be Giannis. So of course, LeBron looks at the Philadelphia 76ers and says, you have all these young guys and you have Joel Embiid. Joel Embiid can't lead a team past the Eastern Conference Finals. Jaylen Brown can lead a team to a second seed, but he can't lead a team to the finals. Tyrese Maxey can't lead a team to the finals, and a young VJ Edgecombe most certainly cannot lead a team by himself to the finals. But LeBron can lead a team to the finals by himself. So of course, LeBron's gonna want to land in Philly. His expertise and his experience and his talent on top of all of these young guys makes Philadelphia an absolute contender, not only in the Eastern Conference, but the entire NBA. And the cherry on top for Philadelphia, let's take a look at the financial situation after LeBron signs. So LeBron signed that 2-year, $8 million deal with the player option, which is the veteran minimum for the NBA. So that, of course, made no dent in their financial situation. On top of that, Philadelphia, let's take a look at the aprons. Philadelphia is right above that first apron, but not quite into that second apron yet. So they still have a lot of financial freedom, which is surprising. Obviously, when we go into the future with all the max deals, especially Jaylen Brown's contract, it's going to get ugly. But for a LeBron win now scenario, this is absolutely perfect. They still have room to make deals in the offseason. They can add some more bench depth if needed, which by the way, as of yesterday, they signed Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, who is a major piece in that Nuggets championship. This financial situation is perfect for LeBron James. The 76ers estimated total outlay, salaries, and tax combined is roughly around $218 million, which is still $3 million under that second apron deal. It's absolutely perfect. With all these factors in mind, Philadelphia was the most obvious choice on that board, and no wonder why LeBron took it. He wants to win now. Like I said, this trade surprised me, but it's not shocking when you actually look at what LeBron James truly wants. I am bummed out he didn't go to Golden State, and now Golden State's in some big trouble, which I will discuss in a later video coming out in the next couple of weeks. Thank you guys so much for watching, and of course, like always, have a great rest of your day and stay safe.